Hi folks, this is Donnie D. I just want to give a quick tutorial as to how I'm making, this is the first time I've ever done it, how I'm making some scale model roofing shingles for a little model house project that I'm doing for somebody. These are the ones I made, and they're not really fancy schmancy like the ones you buy. But I think they're looking pretty good. They turned out pretty good. They're fairly easy to make. These happen to be 1/24th scale, or 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. When I first started building this house model, I went online looking for something I could use for shingles because I didn't want to just paint the roof. I wanted to make it look a little bit better. I found a couple of options. One was a plastic sheet that it was sort of like formed to look like shingles. I didn't really like the way it looked, and it was going to cost about $100 to do this particular model just in materials alone. So then I looked further and actually found some nice shingle strips that are very similar to what I'm making here. They're a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer. They come in dark gray, and you paint them to whatever color you want. But even they were going to cost me about $300 just for materials. So I decided I'd try to make something on my own. So anyway, let me show you I'm not going to make them for you. I'm just going to show you the process. It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. Here's what I use. I start with this poster paper that I get from Walmart. It's 22 wide by 28 inch regular old poster board. Costs about 77 cents a sheet. It's probably going to take about 4 or 5 sheets to do that roof on that model. And the first thing I do is I paint it with my roofing shingle basic color. I'm having to use house paint and brush it on for my base color because I couldn't find a spray paint that exactly matched the base. And of course, if you're going to try to make shingles that are solid color, like solid black, solid gray, solid brown, where there's no variation in the color on them, that's all you have to do for that step is paint that base color on. And if you can find a spray paint, that works even better. Because it's quicker, and it dries to a grainy finish that feels like the shingle should feel, that grit or grainy finish. Because the shingles I make for the roof needed to have variation in the color of each of the tabs, I then go back over that, and I'm using 3 different colors of paint, and I actually kind of mist it on and then kind of streak it diagonal across the sheet, so that I've come up with strips that are varying in color. These are the 3 colors I've missed across there to get my variation in color. And what I end up with is this right here, a piece like this. See how I've got it going across diagonally. And then the next thing I do is I've got the full size 22 by 28 sheet. I'll cut it across this way and then down this way, and that'll give me 4 pieces that are this size, just easy to work with. That's the next step. Then the next step is I tape one of those sheets down. Of course, I've already started cutting. It actually came right down to the edge of my bench so that I can use my T-square to do the next step, and that is a 1/24th or 1/2 inch to 1 foot scale shingle. Each tab would be 12 inches long, and the whole shingle piece would be 12 inches wide, and of course it's half lap, so you have a 6-inch reveal. So first thing I do is I mark off 1/2 inch increments and take my T-square and draw these vertical lines here, and then I use these throwaway razor knives and use my T-square and cut, just mark it 12 inches down this way. You can see those marks there, and cut these strips like this, and this is what you'll end up with, or these little strips. And I'll go in there and show you now how I apply them. Go back into here and show you how I apply them. Once I have the strips cut, I then usually cut them up into a little bit shorter pieces. You can, if you're using a solid color shingle, you can put the whole strip on at once, but I need the variation in color, so I cut them up in a little shorter pieces. And you can see this board where the glue is dried. All I do is pour glob of glue down here, and using my finger, the best thing I find, I just simply smear or kind of dab glue on the back, and it's a regular old Elmer's wood glue, yellow wood glue. It's got a high initial tack, so it works really good. I then take my strips, bring them over to the model, and simply just stick them down and they'll stay. And it's a labor intensive job, takes a while, but it would take the same length of time using the $300 ones that I bought. And you just lay them down and just kind of get in a get in a zone and glue them down. That's really about all there is to it. And then of course I cut the little individual pieces, little square pieces, to do the ridge roll. As you can see, I've started the ridge roll here on this hip roof on this house. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea. Somebody that likes to build house models. I know some of you guys are way better at it than I am, and you might be laughing at what I've done here, but I like it. I think it worked out pretty good. I think it looks pretty decent, and it's an easy way to make your own scale shingles. I suppose you could make it in any scale you wanted, but this particular is 1/24 or 1/2 inch to 1 foot. But anyway, this is Donnie D, and I hope it'll help you, and I'll see you later. Bye.